Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new single from Foreign Hands. This track and Chlorine Tears are released together to make a 2-track EP called Lucid Noise, and Chlorine Tears, I made a video for that when it dropped. Foreign Hands is now working with Will Putney, which there is not a better combination for them, I think, that I could imagine. So all that being said, I'm very much digging Foreign Hands, their sound, all of that. I will link their social media and whatnot in the description. Shout out to Sharptone for sending this over to me in time to get a video made and ready for release. I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Bass is grooving. Song title, Into the Breakdown. I love that. Oh. Damn. Foreign Hands, tearing down your reality. Let's discuss. Well, I suppose I'll start with the fact that I really enjoy this track and Chlorine Tears and this track together coming out as a 2-track EP. I think is a great move because the EP that they put out prior to this is great, and some of those tracks are really what got me into this band and everything, but hearing this combination, them working with Will Putney and whatnot, which I'm very glad that we're going to get the chance to talk a little bit about Will Putney, because 2022, I mean, it has been the case for multiple years, but this year specifically, Will Putney has been a big name, because my album of the year has been Fit for an Autopsy since January. There's been nothing that has even come close to touching that. There's been some other fantastic records, don't get me wrong, but for my taste and what I'm really looking for on my list, it's just been no question Fit for an Autopsy. Then recently, Counterparts came out, and though Will isn't in Counterparts, directly working on that record and helping create that sound, sort of how you can hear that he helps Foreign Hands express their sound, because if you look at the projects that he's working on, there are some very different sounds, like even taking Counterparts and End, for example, same vocalist, two very different sounds that you're getting, and he's in End as well. So if I'm sure a lot of y'all are already familiar with Will Putney, but if you're not, he's very active in the music scene. Obviously, I've just named like multiple projects where he either worked on the release, on the production end of things, or is in the band and did production things, you know. Very impressive to be able, though, so I'll kind of try to circle back to the topic here, but with Foreign Hands, something that I really enjoyed when I first heard of them, I don't remember exactly what the very first track I heard from them, but from my first listen to them, something I really enjoyed was, though they have like that raw sound, they have the hardcore sound for sure, they also encompass some aspects of metalcore and such that bring me more into it, because I've talked about this enough on the channel, and I think maybe even with Foreign Hands I've mentioned this, but when it comes to the more raw stuff, the more hardcore style, I find myself not doing as much revisiting for a lot of like the big name bands, at least. So, you know, for example, if it comes to a toss-up between End and Counterparts, Counterparts is 100% more in my lane, but I still very much enjoy End, and I can appreciate like when people had End, their most recent record, as album of the year and whatnot. I can definitely understand that and such, but when it comes to that raw style and stuff, it's just different for my taste. But they're able to do it in this way where it doesn't feel like that, and it does go on repeat for me. And these newer tracks, with the production level, with these clean vocals, that is 100% my style as well. So they're going even further into a direction that I enjoy, because those are the things that stood out to me listening to Hesitation. Man, I want to say the first song, I want to say, but then I'm really not sure. Maybe I could I'm glad I checked. Separation Souvenir was actually the first track that I heard from them, and then after that, I heard Hesitation Marks and then Bleed the Dream. So with those tracks, you absolutely can hear that rawness, especially with the screams. That's a place where you can definitely hear that style almost the most, I would say, but I don't really know how to describe it quite either, because there are bands who have a similar expression, I think, and style of vocal that like Comeback Kid would be an example of a band that I've known for a long time that does that style of vocal that I am into. So I don't want to say that just like automatically that means I don't enjoy them. It just, Foreign Hands has a very special way of like blending that in with things that I enjoy even more, I guess, than what I've normally heard along with those elements, if that makes sense, or that style. So when I heard Bleed the Dream for the first time and I listened through that EP, I was like, oh damn, I could, for sure, this could be for me. And then once Chlorine Tears came out, that was the track I listened to the most, including anything off of the EP. So I suppose what I'm getting at is, like, it feels like even though those two releases are both from this year, the 2-track EP as well as Bleed the Dream, they still have taken a massive step even further in a direction that I'm into in that short of an amount of time. So it's very promising for me, I guess is what I'm saying. And I was just talking about Counterparts. I'm very conflicted because Foreign Hands is on tour with Counterparts. I have a ticket to that show, but also that same night, the Bad Omens tour, which has Make Them Suffer on it, is going to be in town, and I've never seen Make Them Suffer before either, so... But I really want to see these tracks live. Anyway, great problem to have. Foreign Hands is a band that, like I've been talking about, they're taking elements that may that usually are blended with stuff that causes things to fall off of my, you know, repeat playlist and stuff, not meaning that I won't like it or whatever, but just not the on repeat stuff. Foreign Hands consistently has been one of those bands that kind of break through those barriers that I have for my taste, whatever they may be. I don't really understand, but definitely a band that has helped me kind of get past that. So let me know what you think in the comments. I hope that we'll get more of the sound. Oh yeah, the breakdown at the end did feel a bit like, I was sort of surprised. I had to go back and check. I was like, I read this email right. There's no further, because it felt sort of like a bit of a tease, like it didn't feel like a period at the end of the sentence. It sort of felt left off, I guess. So for whatever that's worth, regardless, it's going to be going on repeat for me. Both of these tracks will be. Let me know what you thought in the comments, which one of the two you prefer. I don't think I could tell you just yet, because I will need to do some more listening to this track before I can make that call. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Foreign Hands and what your favorite is between these two. Other than that, like I said, Foreign Hands, social media, the video that I used in this reaction on Sharp Tone's channel, all of that will be in the description of this video. You'll also be able to find my link tree, which I mention in every video. We've got the Discord server. We've got a community of people where we have music-related conversation. We have channels for Last FM stats, spoiler threads when new music comes out so that people who haven't listened yet don't get spoiled, and the people who have can talk about it. Places for members who create their own music to share, merch, that sort of stuff, but also channels unrelated to music for pets, entertainment like gaming, shows, movies, that sort of stuff, all sorts. So if you're interested in coming and join, check that out. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link, where I do post all music related content. Sometimes if I find a song I like or I have something on repeat, I'll put it on my story, and then I post on my actual profile every Friday a chart of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week and how much I've listened to each thing on that chart, as well as I post merch. I have a merch collection which I am constantly adding to, so I post usually once or twice a week some merch, as well as shows if I've been to one recently, which I have been buying a bunch of tickets, going to some recently. If I have pictures or videos to share from shows, I also post that on Instagram, so you get the idea. If any of that interests you, as I mentioned in the link tree in the description, my Instagram handle is the same as my YouTube channel, though. It is Rachel Reacts. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.